Hi everybody, and welcome to Saturday with Stephanie. It's been a little bit, it's been a week. We've had some challenges of late with going to online only for worship, and I know that's really tough for a lot of folks. And I'm just really concerned that we continue to be able to spend time with one another. And celebrate this season. It's not going to look the same. There's not really the Christmas parties. There's not really the Advent worship, like Wednesday nights. You know, I don't know about you, but I kind of miss having the meals and stuff. So one of the things that I thought would be really a great idea for us as a congregation is, and I'm just unboxing them right now, but is to send Christmas cards. Now, here's an interesting piece for you to know about me. I grew up where my parents sent a Christmas letter every single year to, I don't even know how many people. It was a crazy amount of people. And it just seemed like it took forever to get all of the pieces done. Getting the letter written, getting it copied, signing cards, stuffing envelopes, stamps, the whole 9 yards, getting them all mailed out. And I'd find the chore a little bit frustrating, but then the cards would start coming in, and it'd be really fun to hear from everybody. So my husband and I actually continued that tradition when we got married. We got married in November. Our anniversary is in November. And so what we did the very first year was our Christmas cards were also our thank you notes for our wedding gifts. We figured that, kill two birds with one stone. It gave us a place to start with a Christmas card list, was just to start with the people that had sent us wedding gifts. Obviously, these are our nearest and dearest and closest people, whether it was family members or friends or extended whoever from our lives before. And so that's kind of where we started with it. We continued that tradition for a number of years until the year that we had our daughter. 2011, our daughter was born. For those that don't know this, she was born in March. She got sick when she was about 6 weeks old, and she passed away when she was 4 months old. And it was a journey for us, a really beautiful journey that we got to carry her for a very short time in this life and hand her over to Jesus to take care of. And so at the end of that journey, she passed away in July, and in November we ordered special Christmas cards with some photos of our daughter, made note of her birthday, her baptism day, and her death day. And we sent those cards to everyone that had done anything for us along the way, that had been a part of our journey, whether it was sending gifts or food, or even had given us baby gifts before she was born. We had done a couple of remote showers with friends and things like that. And so anyone who was involved in any way during that year got one of those cards. And at the end of all of that, I said, you know what? I think I'm done. I haven't sent a Christmas card since then. Now, I shouldn't say that. Occasionally we would send Christmas cards if what we were sending as a gift to someone warranted it going inside of an envelope. So, for instance, one of the things we've done for grandparents through the years has been to make a donation in their name. And so we would put a note in a Christmas card and send it to them. Those kinds of things. But other than that, we just stopped doing Christmas cards. I didn't feel like I really wanted to send them anymore after that year. And it wasn't that it was painful. It was more just, I felt like I had done the biggest thing with Christmas cards I possibly could do. And I didn't want to attempt to compete with it or top it or do anything differently. And then coronavirus happened. And over the last several weeks, like I said, I've been just frustrated with not getting to spend the holidays the way that we normally do. it's hard. We don't see people like we usually do at church. And for me and for Pastor Travis, so much of our lives revolve around what we're doing with our congregation, that to not be in the midst of that during the season of Advent is just so strange for us. And so I figured, you know what? This is a good year to reinstitute that tradition of sending out Christmas cards. So I'm getting out my boxes now. We're getting all of the addresses gathered up of all of the congregation members, and our plan is to send everyone who's a member of our congregation a Christmas card this year. Now, if you are watching these and you consider yourself to be part of our congregation, but technically aren't a member, we might not have your address. So you will have to probably email us and let us know. You can go to the church's website. You can fill out the contact form. We'd be happy to also send you a Christmas card, but we can't just send them if we don't know who you are watching or what your address is. So that's the one caveat with this. If it's a member on the books or somebody that we know is connected to our congregation in some way, we will definitely send a Christmas card. So, but I am kind of throwing out this challenge to you, our members, to send Christmas cards to each other this year. If you usually send Christmas cards to family and friends that are far away, remember that this has been an unusual year, and close by friends may not be people that you've seen in a long time. Our circles have gotten incredibly small now, so that it's not this network of people that we see at work and at school and at church. But for some, the people that you interact with are the people just within your household. And so it might be a good opportunity to consider sending Christmas cards. I, for one, am really hoping that we get quite a few. Because we haven't sent them in the last 8 or 9 years, we've been getting less and less in the mail, and that's understandable. I remember growing up that my parents every year, probably January or February, would kind of go through their list of who they sent Christmas cards to and would make a note if they didn't receive a card back from that person. Or in fact, every once in a while it would be somebody who had moved without a forwarding address and they had no way of contacting them, and so they got removed from the list. Usually they would wait a few years of not receiving a card from somebody before they'd take them off the list. And so I'm sure that's part of what has happened with us too. For us, part of the stopping sending cards too was, for several years, we actually wrote a letter and would post it on our social media and share in that way, because it's been our way of staying in touch with people near and far. And we felt like to mail something seemed like an over-the-top step that wasn't necessary. But these days, I don't much enjoy being on social media. I don't know about you, but I don't spend much time there. It's just not something I like to do a lot of. I take care of the posting that I need to do for church and checking in to make sure that there's nothing that I've missed with that. But beyond that, I don't spend a lot of time on it. And quite honestly, it's harder and harder to see the posts that you want to see from friends, and I don't know who sees my stuff. But regardless, I think this is a great opportunity to bring back a tradition that's been around for a long time, that I grew up with, and I hope it's familiar to you too. So if you're a member and you're watching this, be watching your mail in the next week or two for a Christmas card. We probably won't get them sent out until next week, because I'm very thankful that we have close to 120 families on our books. So it's going to take me a little bit of time to get everything written and signed and stuffed and stamped and all of those things, but getting started with it right now. I'm getting the cards out, getting them unboxed, so be watching in the next week or two. I have no idea how slow the mail is these days either, but you will get a card hopefully before Christmas, barring any post office issues. But they will definitely go into the mail long before Christmas. So if you would like to send out cards and you don't have congregational addresses, please contact us at church too. We'd be happy to connect you to our church directory for our members, and we can share that with you in whatever way that you would like to have it shared. God's blessings to you. I pray that your Advent and Christmas celebrations are blessed, whether your circle is just your household or extends to a little bit further out. I just encourage you to find ways of sharing Christmas greetings with those you love, both near and far. Have a great night. We'll see you in worship tomorrow. Bye.